This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Davin. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today is a football coach who is still the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He used to be the defensive back coach for the Eagles and the special teams coach for the Eagles for 9 years. He has a younger brother who coaches at the University of Michigan. And when his brother Jim was the Niners head coach, they were the first pair of brothers in NFL history to serve as head coaches, and they faced each other at Super Bowl 47. This guy is the Ravens leader for most wins by head coach in Ravens history, beating Brian Billick's mark. He's coached for 13 years as the Ravens head coach, giving the Ravens 10 winning seasons, which was amazing and all that. And he is actually the only head coach in NFL history since the merger to win a playoff game in each of his first 5 seasons. His name is John Harbaugh, and he'll be 60 years old today. Harbaugh was the first son to his father Jack, who used to be assistant under Bill Schembechler at University of Michigan. John Harbaugh attended college at Miami of Ohio University and was actually roommates with Brian Pillman, who became a wrestler. John would be in the college ranks as an assistant, especially with Western Michigan for about 4 years, and then Cincy for 7. So anyway, he was hired in the NFL by the Eagles in 98. There were rumors he was going to be the head football coach at Western Michigan, but it didn't materialize. He was, the special teams coach for 9 years. He became their defensive backs coach. So he did pretty well. The Baltimore Ravens needed a new coach. Ken Marchibroda was their first head coach, and he didn't do so well. And then Brian Billick, who led them to the championship 2001, was not happening and all that. So anyway, Harbaugh was given the Ravens job after Jason Garrett decided to stay with Dallas. It was offered a promotion to assistant head coach. But he did impress many members within the Ravens organization. John Harbaugh would hire Cam Cameron as offensive coordinator, mostly because Cameron actually previously hired John Harbaugh as an assistant at Indiana. And Cam Cameron was actually the quarterback's coach for Jim Harbaugh when they were in Michigan. His first game as a head coach, John beat the Cincinnati Bengals and helped them win 11 games, getting to them in the wild card, and actually shockingly getting to the AFC title game after wins over Miami and Tennessee. In his second season, he helped the Ravens go to 9-7. They upset the Patriots in the AFC wildcard round in New England for 2010, but lost to the Colts in the divisional round. Although that happened in his third season, he got the Ravens to the playoffs, beating the Chiefs in the wildcard round before losing to Pittsburgh. But thankfully, he signed an extension, and by the 2012 playoffs, he was still around. They lost the AFC title game to New England, thanks to Billy Cundiff's flubbed game-tying field goal. Although a lot of people said it was the ghost of Maya Kraft, Robert Kraft's wife, that actually blew the football wide left. Jim would get into the NFL with the Niners. So John faced his brother on Thanksgiving Day in the famous Thanksgiving Day night game, But John beat Jim 16-6. The 2012 Baltimore Ravens got to the Super Bowl, and guess who was there? Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, that's right. So his brother and brother. And John again beat Jim 34-31. It was a close one. So anyway, he was signed into another contract. Anyway, it was huge. The Ravens won over the Steelers at Heinz Field. So for the fifth straight year, he got a playoff win. But they lost the division round to New England. Unfortunately, the 2015-16 season would see John Harbaugh get his first losing season. They only won 5 games because injuries ruined the team. But he kept signing contract extensions. In the 2019 season, he was hoping that the Baltimore Ravens would be the team to beat in the AFC. They were the team to beat, and they got beaten by the Tennessee Titans of all teams at home, 28-12. But the next season, for 2021, he got the Ravens the revenge in the wild card game against the Tennessee Titans. But the Ravens would lose to the Bills in the divisional round. The Ravens looked pretty good and all that. They were 8-3, the number one team in the AFC last season, but unfortunately, because of injuries and defensive struggles, the Ravens lost all the rest of the games and lost to Pittsburgh for playoff contention. It was unbelievable. But his head coaching record and this season doesn't count in the stats because we don't know officially. So anyway, John Harbaugh's won 137 games as a Baltimore Ravens head coach, 11-8 in the playoffs. So he's married and has a daughter. Of course, we all know his younger brother Jim, being a former NFL quarterback and head coach, is now the head coach of Michigan since 2015. Their father Jack was a former head football coach at Western Michigan and Western Kentucky. John's sister is married to the head basketball coach for the University of Georgia. And of course, as I said, John Harbaugh was roommates with the late Brian Pillman of wrestling fame at Miami of Ohio. So yeah, not a bad tree, don't you think? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.